So what's up? What's your self-talk? All right, so how to make sure your marriage and your business is going in the right direction. So how you doing? My name is Jahbari Mclennan, and my goal is to be able to help you to go from where you are to where you want to go. And I asked this really important question, what's your self-talk? And you have to choose to use that question to say, what are the areas that I need to grow in my marriage, in my business, which is what we're talking about today, but even in other areas. So I have my lovely wife with me today, and we are going to just talk about our marriage and our business, how we choose to grow as well. So this came up because this weekend, I think it was Saturday, we was talking Saturday. And so we was talking Saturday, and pretty much it turned into an argument, which is a good thing for us because we getting our point across better. And as we were talking, and I forget the details that we were talking about when we were going back and forth, but Shania said something, and what she said was, you have to learn how to not let your emotions get in your way from listening, because if you do, that's the thing that will hold you back.
That was feelings.
Feelings?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta let my feelings, stop letting my feelings get in the way, because if so, that's gonna hold you back. And so, now I heard her tell me this before, but let's go back to before that week. That week before, I personally challenged myself to really focus in on what I need to do to get better at my work and my efforts at putting forward on my work. And so that took me to be able to focus over long periods of time, longer than I personally have, like over 2 to 3 hours, even 5 hours sometimes, just focusing in on exactly what I need to do. And so the energy and effort that takes to do that, I had to personally, we all have to personally fight, oh, I don't feel like doing this. Oh, I don't want to do this. But when you push past that, you start realizing, man, that was like, I see what it means to truly commit. So that was the week that I was coming from. So leading up to that, I heard her differently for the first time. And the reason that I heard her differently, because I chose to push myself outside of my comfort zone. So when you choose to push yourself outside your comfort zone, then you grow. And then when you grow, it's uncomfortable because it's tough, because you have to let go of junk and stuff that we went through. That junk stuff that we went through to get to where we're at or wherever you're at in life. So, and if you see a replay of this, or if you happen to be seeing this live, definitely let us know and ask any questions that you have, but we're just going to run through it and we're going to wrap it up from there. So the first question I wanted to tackle is, why is it important to understand that we both have different perspectives? And just go to the example I just used. So Shania had a different perspective on what was really holding me back with the conversation we were having. So we was going back and forth. We were talking about whatever we were talking about, but she noticed something that I wasn't noticing at that time. So her perspective on what she noticed allowed her to say something to me that I would have not caught. And by doing that, that helped me understand, or that helped me. I chose to grow. I chose to listen to that. I chose to be quiet and just meditate on that some more. And if she had the same perspective as I do on that conversation, then it probably wouldn't lead nowhere, or we probably wouldn't have the disagreement. We would not have argument. Would you agree to that?
Or no, I probably wouldn't have saw what I saw in the argument. We probably would have still had an argument.
We would have had an argument still?
Yes.
You probably would have just saw something different. Okay, I get what you're saying. So yes.
Because we were already in the middle of an argument anyway.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So that's perfect. So that's so we would have had a disagreement, but the disagreement,
it probably wouldn't have lasted as long.
There you go. That's why I need her to help me out. All right. So anything you want to add to that? Why you think it's important to have those different perspectives just in marriage?
I mean, we're two different individuals. We're going to more than likely have two different perspectives anyway. Even though we're married, doesn't mean that we have to agree on everything.
Why is that?
Because we're two different individuals. We come from two different backgrounds and bringing it together. So we're going to have different outlooks and different perspectives on different situations.
Gotcha. So the second question is that we're going to answer is, why is it important to accept that we are different individuals? So you see the shirts we're on. I got to be me. So I got to be Jahbari. Shania needs to be Shania, right?
Yep.
So in order for us to be us, we have to understand who we are. Like my wife, she knows who she is. She's a beautiful woman, and I don't have to tell her, but I do. But I don't have to tell her. She understands that. Like, and you have to be okay in your skin. You have to be okay with being you. Because here's the truth. God created both of us to be who we're meant to be. So if we accept that reality and we know that we're doing and being who we're called to be, then guess what? And then we have to learn to accept that. Because I can't, like, Shania's never going to be me. Shania is the complete opposite. You see, she probably said like 10 words the whole time we're here. And that's fine, because that's who she is. Here's the thing, if you have something you want to say to her, remember like those real quiet people in class, she was like, oh, that's one of those over there that's quiet. One that's usually going to kill you. I'm just teasing. Yeah, see? But most of the time is when you, so Shania, she is who she is, and I am who I am. And in the beginning of our marriage, and Shania can even vouch it, it's like we tried to make each other be each other. And so Shania at times would try to let me be this calm, reserved person. Calm down. You don't need to be getting up, doing everything all the time. Just sit down somewhere. I'm like, bro, you need to get some life inside of you, bro. You need to do something with yourself. So what do you think? What is you think probably the main things that you have learned just throughout our marriage is just accepting that we are different?
Yeah, accepting you're going to be who you are. You're naturally an extrovert. I'm naturally an introvert. Mm-hmm. So it is times where you can't calm down, but and that's just serving each other. And then sometimes that I don't want to do stuff. I don't want to go to I don't know, gatherings, and I do it anyway because I know that's where you get your energy from, and I get my energy from being by myself and hanging out at the house. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I usually try to go to do things that you like to do, even though it would never be my first choice.
So it's what, and I want you to catch on what she said. It's the fact that, it comes to a point where I have to calm down and be like, all right, wife don't want to do that. Like if we go on road trips, this is something I noticed. If we go on road trips, like my first thing, this. So if we go on road trips, say we drove 6 hours somewhere, what's the first thing you're going to want to do when we get there?
Hang out, or go to the house or the room or wherever we go.
Okay, what's the first thing I'm going to do?
Go sightseeing.
Exactly. I want to go look here. I got here. I don't care, 6-8 hours. It's time to go. It's time to go do something. And so it's been times when we go somewhere, whether it's home or whether it's somewhere new, I just be like, all right, let me sit back, let me calm down. Sometimes, like, if I'm too excited, I'm like, you chill here. I'm about to head out, and that's okay. It's like I'm not hurting her feelings, and she ain't hurting mine. It's like that's our personalities. We are who we are, and we have to be who we are called to be. Therefore, we can enjoy life and we can enjoy marriage together. So, and remember, we're gonna go into this next question. But if you have questions that you think about and you want me to answer, you want my wife to answer it, just let us know. But we're here to serve for sure. So this third one is going to be in relation to marriage and business as well. Is what does it look like when you choose not to grow in your marriage and in your business?
Choose not to.
Yeah, when you choose not to grow in your marriage and in your business.
It's kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to use the word grow, but
okay.
You choose, like, you have to try at your marriage. You have to, I don't want to say try, but what am I looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I guess grow. Or you got to work at it. That's what I'm looking for. Work. You do have to work at marriage. You just if you just don't get married and just that's it. You got to work at it. For us, it was we do date night each week. We still date each other. Mm-hmm. we never stopped dating once we got married, and that's because and that's not something we made up on our own. It's just that's stuff we read and we did in premarital counseling. But it is a big. I mean, you got to be intentional. Like your marriage does have to be intentional, because you can't just turn into just two people living together, or just seeing. It can get boring if you don't work at it.
Yep.
It can get mundane if you don't work at your marriage.
Yeah. So, and it's a lot of things I can think about. First, I'm gonna go into marriage, then I'm gonna go into business. Hey, Brittany, what's going on?
You gonna shout out everybody?
I mean, it's one. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So if I don't choose to grow in my marriage, then, like, for example, that dog. This is her dog, by the way. This is not mine. This thing that been jumping at us the whole time. But if I choose not to grow as a leader, like it's like as you go in life, you get more responsibility, especially as a husband. You have more responsibilities that come towards you. So when you have more of those responsibilities, you have to understand how to manage those responsibilities and how you need to continue to love your wife, how you need to continue to take care of everything else that comes along with that. And I believe that was part of our conversation we had on Saturday. And even in business, like, one thing that you realize in the common, like what both of those business and marriage have in common, is that if you choose not to grow, then you choose to be closed-minded. And when you choose to be closed-minded, then you only will rely on your information. In reality, it's just like, me and my wife, we read a lot because we are constantly seeking how to improve ourselves. Like, we are never finished. Like, until our day come on this earth that God called us in, that we will continue to grow. Because here's the thing, like, you're like, example, my personal mission statement is this: that I will be the best version of myself so I can help inspire others. So the best version of myself means, I was thinking about a phone. Anytime you get a phone, iPhone is what I have. How many times do you get an update? Probably once a month, or I don't know. It just depends on when Apple decides to update it. But you need to continue to update your phone so that you can use it effectively and efficiently. And how many people have you actually seen? They have those old phones, and then if they choose to update it, it starts running slower. And that's your choice. Like, either you're going to choose to step up personally and upgrade to a new phone, and then if you get that new phone, within that phone, you still have to update it. Like, you're constantly going through those type of changes. And so that's what I think of as a husband, as a business owner, as anything as anything that we do. So Chanel, what's one thing, or what's one trend that you have seen, like, in business? And if you don't know, we have a real estate business right now. We have 7 properties, and we are constantly going towards our goal of hitting 12 and have a minimum cash flow that we're wanting to hit. But one thing me and Chanel have found out is, especially in this area, that certain people just choose not to grow. And when me and Chanel were former athletes, and so being former athletes, like, you had to adapt, you had to adjust, like, by the second if you're in the game. So what we realized is, like, when we start stepping this, and we would talk to somebody else that's probably in the same field of real estate, it's just like, why? What's the word you use? Why are you doing? Oh man, you use some word. The good old boy system. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
What is it called?
The good old boy system.
Yeah. Okay. The good old boy system.
But that's not. No, that's not what I was relating to.
Okay. What was you relating to then?
No, for that instance, like, if we talk to people that owned real estate or before, it was just, we've done it this way, we're always going to do it this way. That's always the way we've always done it.
Closed-minded, yep.
So that was different than the good old.
Well, all I have to say is that the example she just gave, that's everybody, you can be closed-minded to business. So relating that to how it's areas in our business that we constantly have to change things. We have to learn more things. As you grow as a business, you have to take on more responsibilities, or you have to implement better systems to help manage your business. So, Like one thing, like for Shania, she studied accounting and she practiced that, but now she's starting to have to pick up more skills in QuickBooks, right?
Yes.
Okay. So like if you choose not to do that, it's fine. Like you can hire somebody else to do that as well, but accept those type of small adjustments. Like it comes with growth. Like anytime you choose to grow, there are adjustments you need to make throughout your life. And if you choose to be closed-minded, then guess what? You're only going to experience so much growth in your life. So, Brittany said going through that now, and patience. Yeah, so it takes patience with anything that we do. And here's the reality, and we can both vouch to this. Like, we all want it now, right? You want what you want now?
Instant gratification sometimes, yes.
Instant gratification. And that's the lie. Like we live in a world that tells us that you have to have what you want and you can have it now. And and the lie that goes behind that is this. You're not willing to grow outside of who you are in order to get to where you want to go. Like it was an example I was gonna use. Like, it take 30 years to become 30.
You can't skip.
You can't skip. You can't skip a year. You can't skip a day. You can't skip a month. It take 30 years to be 30. It take 20 years to be 20. It take 40 years to be 40. It takes 6-7 years to be married. You can't get it no faster.
To be married 6 years takes 6
years.
Yeah,
to get married, yeah, there you go. To be married 6 years, it takes 6 years. And to do that well, it take change. It take adapt. It take adjustment. So, Sacrifice. Amen. It takes sacrifice, baby. But the good thing about it is that when you do it for a good reason and you have it for you love the person you're with and you trust the person you're with, then you move together and then you continue to experience what God created to be beautiful. But only when you accept those realities and work at that together. Like it's not in our marriage, it's not just about me. Well, I need to get better and Shania don't. Or it's not about Shania don't need to get better, but I do. Did I say that the same way? Or did I switch it around?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay, there you go. I'm good. So you switch, but you need to switch it around. And same thing that goes in business. We have to, like, I have to be more flexible at times with being available. Like right now, we still don't have management or anything in place, so we are taking all the calls. So grateful enough, my wife has done a great job getting good tenants, so we really don't really have anything to be concerned about. But you have to adjust it. The more houses you get, the more people is going to call you asking for things. And if you get that more consistently, then you say, well, what can we do to, minimize having to go somewhere late at night? So we'll continue to ask those questions. So any questions that you have while you're here before we go? Cut everything you think of, Shania?
I think so. Did you cover? I didn't know if you want to cover more about business aspect.
So what is one thing that you think that is important? Like we had a couple people reach out to us through from California about our real estate. We had a couple friends at church ask about real estate. What do you think is something just within the business that we've been doing from here on out is you learned, or something that you think is good or valuable to share, just starting up a business and running a business?
I guess for us, it was, or for anybody just doing it and starting it. Obviously, you do your research, but don't get so caught in the research that you don't take that first step, because you can become paralysis to analysis. And so when you get that, it's you reading and not taking any action. That's like reading a book or reading anything, and you're not practicing it. It's kind of pointless of reading all the information. So
yeah,
just analysis paralysis, because he can tell you about analysis paralysis.
Well,
I was the more of the take the action person.
Yeah, so when it comes, so the story behind it, and if you got a chance to listen to our podcast, you know this story. But the story behind it is that for me, I wanted to have everything in place. Like I'm like, okay, what about this week? Make sure I can do this. Make sure I can do that. so all this, and if I didn't understand what was going on, then I wanted to stop. I didn't want to do anything. So the reality is that I had to act, with that fear mindset. Like I had to act and move forward without knowing all the steps, and I had to be okay with that. Like it's like one thing that I realized is that taking a step and run our own business is like you have to be okay with risk. Like you have to accept that.
And you're gonna fail.
And you're gonna fail.
There's a lot of mistakes we made on our first property.
Yep, it was a lot of mistakes.
But as we acquired another one, it got a little bit easier, and we knew what to look for. Because you don't start off as an expert in anything.
No, Lord Jesus, no.
So, and we're still not experts, and we still make mistakes, and we still, but each house is easier, and we get better at it.
Yeah, we get better, and we're learning. And
it's a question.
So Brittany
it says,
asked,
where do we get our premarital?
Yep. So where do we do premarital?
Where do we do premarital?
Well, for us, we was a
pastor.
Yeah, so we had a pastor at the time when we were dating, and they pretty much just took us in and just walked us through a lot of the similar questions that they went through before they got married, walked through, maybe certain issues that may come up, walked through, expectations that we have, and it was, so yeah, that's where we did it at. It was just at that church, and it was helpful for us to be able to give a baseline. So what is your first step with real estate? For me, it was to identify a goal. I need to understand where we're going, what we're doing, and
while you're doing it, we just don't do it. Our goal is not to do it because we want a whole bunch of money. Our goal is to, whenever we have kids, is to leave them something when we're gone. So leave them a legacy. Not necessarily. We're not doing it for monetary purposes.
Yeah,
it's just to when I die, I want my child or children to have something left. I don't want to leave them with nothing. So that's the reason why we do real estate. We don't do it to get a check.
Yeah. So the first step is to be able to have something for our kids. So it's called business called Mclennan legacy. So we want to leave a legacy to give, but also within saying that is understanding how to do that. Like it's one thing just to leave somebody something, but also to do it in a way where you're bringing your kids up in that environment so they understand the how on to move forward and to build it and grow it better from there. And to do that with joy and to do that with passion. So that's our hope and prayer, to be able to do that and teach that. And so we have to understand the ins and outs of that. And so yeah, understanding why you want to do real estate. If you choose to do it, understand
it's stuff that comes with the job, just like anything. It's stuff that comes with it. So that you get real estate, you might have to do an eviction.
Yep.
That's a part of it. You may get a terrible tenant, but if you're gonna do it, just know what comes with it.
Yep.
And if you're okay with what it comes with, then fine. But if you scared of what comes with it, maybe real estate is not something that you want to do. Maybe you want to try something else. But just know what it comes with. You may never have an eviction, but just know that it could happen, or your AC is gonna. Stuff is gonna happen, but you just gotta prepare for it, and just know that comes with the job.
Yep. Hey, and if you're scared, but you still know that you want to move forward, just go for it. That's what I had to do. And that's what Chanel was talking about a minute ago. You have to learn how to move forward, because fear is what? False evidence appearing real. So it appears like that stuff is gonna happen. Like you're gonna have bad tenants, you're gonna get evicted, but some of that stuff may never come true, as she was talking about. All fear is false evidence appearing real. And so what problems did you face, especially with having other priorities? Now, are you meaning that in real estate or in our marriage, or?
Well, yeah, define exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because that way we can make sure that I answered that good. So you said, what problems did you face, especially with having other priorities?
I don't understand the question.
So yeah, just clear that up, because we want to answer that for you, Brittany. So, but all that to say is that, so make sure as you're getting ready to do that, I want you to share this with one person as we start to get to a wrap. So I want you to share this with one person so that one person can hear and understand what are some things that we need to get better at, or you need to get better at, so that you can improve your marriage and your business. Because if you don't talk about this, like my goal is this, to continue to reach 2,000 people this year, and to share this and to give good information where people can meditate on the right things to make better decisions in their life, in their marriage, in their business, in their personal, in their spiritual, in their mental, all those things. So what was
she's saying I'm using this in comparison to getting my own salon next year, building my foundation.
So just looking at the priorities, I'll say this, Brittany, you have to understand what so in the beginning of business, that business, you know, it's going to take up a lot of your time, because it may be learning curves where you have to learn something new, and you have to be willing to understand what are the things that's going to have to it's going to go on the back burner a little bit. What are the things that I'm not going to be able to pay so much attention to? Because if I know that going into it, then I can accept that. But also, if I need to let, you know, people know that, hey, I'm not going to be able to do this, I'm not going to be able to do that. Like me and Chanel are busy more, and I'm not away from her. But also, you know, when I'm here at the time, like, we can be able to have a date night. We can be able to plan more better the things around, you know, what we're doing in our business. Because when it comes down to it, you want to be successful at what you do. And you're going to have to give up some things in order to get the results that you're going to want in your business. And in your marriage, you know, you have work and then you have your marriage. You have to be real intentional about how you spend time together. But
that's the wrong order.
Okay, yes, I did the wrong order, but the marriage is first and then business. Yeah. That's what she's meant. But go ahead.
Yeah. So business and, I guess, our marriage is, you can't compartmentalize. I can't even get the word out. Put them in compartments. Put it like that. I mean, yeah. It's really not like giving one rank over the other. Mm-hmm. Besides marriage is first, but we also we work together in both that and in real estate. But we're still married when we're doing business deals like this. We don't put our marriage to the side because we're working on real estate or anything. Mm-hmm. So marriage is the priority.
Yep, marriage is the priority, and we're going in this. It goes our faith, our marriage, family, and then our business. So we make sure that we set guidelines for ourselves that we say we're going to do for our marriage, and these are the things we're going to do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis. And even if we have times like we have a vacation coming up, so it may be a session or time where 2 weeks me just be super busy, but we know here in a minute we're going to spend a lot of time together. It's just planning things and then looking forward to doing those things together. So I hope that makes sense for you, and if not, definitely we'll clear that up for you. But with all that to say, anything you want to add? I don't think so. No. So, hey, appreciate you watching. Thank you. If you have any other questions, make sure you come here. But until then, be real smart and be wise about that real important question. What's your self-talk?